There is a new economic category forming. It is not traditional employment. It is not freelancing in the conventional sense. It is something closer to a personalized service economy built inside the intimacy of your own home. And it is quietly replacing the need for a traditional paycheck for mothers who understand one simple principle. You already hold the infrastructure. You just never monetized it. Most mothers who leave the workforce do not lose their capacity to earn. They lose access to employer-backed systems, health insurance, paid leave, retirement contribution, the psychological comfort of direct deposit. But they do not lose time, they do not lose relational intelligence, and they do not lose the ability to build recurring value inside small trust-based ecosystems. What they lose is the illusion that income must come from someone else's company. The shift is structural, not motivational. A stay-at-home mother who monetizes well does not work harder than she did in corporate. She works inside a different architecture, one where her client relationships are direct, where her pricing is transparent, where her schedule bends around nap times and afternoon pickups, and where her labor compounds instead of resetting every pay period. This is not about passion projects. It is about economic recalibration. The question is not whether you can earn from home. The question is whether you are willing to treat your domestic time, the buildable income infrastructure, instead of waiting for someone to hire you back into a system that was never designed for motherhood in the first place. Let's start with what replaces the 9-to-5. It is not one thing. It is a portfolio. A small collection of income streams that function like modular systems. Each one serves a different client type. Each one operates on a different time cycle. Some are high-ticket and relational. Some are low-ticket and automated. Some require live presence. Others run while you sleep. The goal is not to find the perfect side hustle. The goal is to build enough optionality that no single income source controls your schedule. Most mothers start with service, not because it is easy, because it is legible. You offer something you already know how to do. You price it based on time or outcome. You deliver it inside boundaries you control. Consulting, coaching, tutoring, meal prep coordination, home systems design. These are not corporate jobs shrunk down. These are economic offerings built around your existing authority. And they begin the moment you stop asking for permission to charge for what you know. Service income is immediate, but it is also capped by your availability, which is why the second layer matters. Digital products. These are not passive income, the way the internet promises. They are leveraged labor. You create something once, a guide, a template, a resource library, a recorded training, and you sell it repeatedly without repeating the work. This does not replace service income, it extends it. It turns your expertise into an asset that moves independently of your time. The third layer is the one most mothers overlook. Affiliate ecosystems. You do not need to build the product. You need to understand what your audience already buys: software, tools, books, courses, home systems, baby gear. If you are already recommending something to another mother in a text thread or a parking lot conversation, that recommendation has economic value. The only question is whether you are capturing it or giving it away for free. These three layers do not require you to become someone else. They require you to treat your existing knowledge, routines, and relational trust as monetizable infrastructure. And they require you to stop waiting for a company to validate your worth before you start charging for it. But here is where most mothers stall. They build the offer, they set the price, they even make a few sales, and then they stop, not because the model does not work, because they do not treat it like a real business. They treat it like a hobby that might one day pay. And hobbies do not generate recurring income, systems do. A real home-based business has client onboarding. It has a payment structure. It has boundaries around communication and delivery. It has a backup plan for when you are sick or your child is home from school. It has a way to say no without losing the relationship. And it has a financial target that is not based on what feels comfortable, but on what your household actually needs. This is not about hustle. It is about treating your time as economically serious. Most mothers undercharge because they are afraid of being judged. They price based on what they think another mother can afford instead of what their labor is worth, and they confuse empathy with economic self-sabotage. You can care deeply about your clients and still charge enough to make your business sustainable. These are not conflicting values. They are the same value expressed through different lenses. Let's talk about tools, because infrastructure matters. If you are running a service-based business from home, you need a scheduling system, Calendly or Acuity, not because it is fancy, because it removes the cognitive load of coordinating availability over text threads. If you are selling digital products, you need a storefront, Gumroad or Stand Store, not because you need a brand, because you need a way to deliver files automatically while you are making lunch. If you are building an email list, you need a CRM, ConvertKit or Flowdesk, not because you want to be a marketer, because you need a way to stay in contact with people who trust you without relying on an algorithm to show them your posts. These are not luxuries. They are the minimum operational layer for a home-based income system that does not collapse the moment your toddler gets sick. And they cost less per month than a single coffee shop work session used to. Here is what most people miss. A stay-at-home mother who monetizes well, not working more hours than she did in her old job. She's working inside a structure that does not penalize her for being unavailable. She's not online all day. She's online at specific times, and the rest of her infrastructure runs without her. Automated emails, evergreen offers, pre-recorded content, client systems that do not require live replies. This is not about doing more. It is about designing income streams that respect the fact that you are not always free. And this is where the psychological recalibration happens. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who needs to be hired, and you start thinking of yourself as someone who designs her own economic reality. You stop asking if you are allowed to charge, and you start asking what your time is actually worth. You stop waiting for external validation, and you start building internal proof through small, repeated client wins. The mothers who replace the 9-to-5 are not the ones with the biggest audiences. They are the ones who treat their home-based income from infrastructure, who show up consistently, who deliver on time, who do not apologize for charging, who build trust slowly and monetize it carefully, and who understand that financial autonomy does not come from one big break. It comes from stacking small systems until you no longer need someone else's payroll to feel economically stable. This is not a side hustle, it is a recalibration. And it is available the moment you stop treating your domestic time as economically invisible. Disclaimer: this video provides informational and educational content on economic perspectives related to domestic work and home-based income strategies. It is not financial, legal, or professional advice. Individual results vary based on circumstances, effort, market conditions, and personal decisions. Viewers are encouraged to consult qualified professionals before making financial or business decisions. The creator is not responsible for outcomes resulting from the application of ideas discussed.